Hello, everyone. Welcome to Poetry and Perspective with Placide. I am your kind hostess, Cindy Placide. Thank you for always being on the show. Thank you for always showing your support. Thank you for always being a part of this amazing venture that I am taking on. Okay, so tonight, nothing too special. I'm sorry, I'm biting my tongue, but I'm coming here to basically just talk to my viewers and talk to you guys about, what is coming up for the month, and also what is coming up for the month, and also about the awareness that's going on for this month. So I just wanted to you guys to share that with you. I'm going. What am I so nervous today? Anyway, okay. So let me start by saying I am Cindy Placid. I am your kind hostess. Welcome to Poetry and Perspective with Placid. I am the author of two books. My first book is I'm from the beautiful Caribbean island of St. Lucia, and I am the author of two books. My first book is entitled When Life Stood in Silence, and of course, as I always said, that book was born from grief and from loss, and it's one of my biggest accomplishments was to be able to publish my first book, and that gave me a lot of confidence in who I was, and to know that yes, I am doing something amazing, so that was one of my biggest accomplishments, with my life, despite uh, but from having my children, which are my dearest to my heart. And so yeah, I'm just trying to really get everything together here so that my viewers can see. Okay, awesome, there we go. Yeah, so that was one of my biggest accomplishments, was to publish my first book. And then out of that book, it really gave me courage and strength to do what I needed to do, and do what I love. And so I went ahead and I published a second book, um entitled entitled A Mighty Calm. Okay, so this is my second book, entitled A Mighty Calm. And so guys, it is that book is also an amazing book, and it is a powerful book. It has a little bit of everything in there, and basically I found my voice, I found who I was, I found Cindy Placid, and that was just amazing. And so I just wanted to let you know guys know that these are two of my greatest accomplishments. There are a lot of things coming on, and so yeah, in my life a lot of great things are going to be happening, and so I just wanted to let you guys know that this was two of my greatest accomplishments. Now, with that said, first of all, I advocate for autism, I advocate for mental illness, and I advocate for dwarfism, suicide prevention, suicide, just talk about it, and also other causes like domestic violence and other things. Now, one of the things that we are celebrating this month is poetry, National Poetry Month. And of course, I'm a poet, and both of my books are poetry books. And so I w- and so we are celebrating poetry and the poets all over the world. So to all of y'all with great amazing poems, and poems that transform lives and touch hearts, good night, thank you. So that's what we are really looking at this month. So what was I going to say? Yes, as I said, it's Poetry Awareness Month. Okay, so I want to touch on a few things. So this month, for Poetry Awareness Month, we're gonna have some activities here. We may also have some poets coming up here and doing their things, but I can't let the cat out of the bag yet. But we're gonna have some amazing things happening with poetry on here. Now, because it's National Poetry Month, um, I would like I'm like I'm leaving that open, and I'm also putting it out there. If there are any poets on here who just want to come on on the show tonight and just give us a piece, I would love to hear just for the opening of National Poetry Month. And also, it's going to give you a chance to at least let people see that your work and what you do. Okay, so I'm putting that out there now. As a poet, it has been very, very fulfilling, very rewarding. Okay, and I must say it has taken me out of a deep, dark place in my life and made me who I am. And I am just really thankful for that because poetry is life. Poetry is who we are. Poetry makes us who we are. And poetry is our voice. And so it is important that it is important it is important that we it is important that we share our poetry with others. It's important that let people know what we do, and I'll let the voices that are deep within us show with our poetry. Okay. And so huh and so as a poet, I would like to start with one of my poems today. I don't know if I've ever read that poem to you guys. Where is my book? I don't know if I've ever read that poem to you guys, okay? But I think it's in my second book. Oh my goodness, what's the book? It's in my second book of poems. And I'm going to start with a poem because it's Poetry Awareness Month. It is also, I wrote this little poem. Hold on a second. Let me find it. I'm so bad at this. Let me find my poem. But guys, listen, I am just a hot mess sometimes. This week has been really, really tough for me. I've been really, really tired, and I had to take an advice of my friends and my team of people that I'm building and the people who love me. I had to take time for myself because I felt like I was breaking down. And we have those moments, even if we rise above things, but we have those moments where we have to stop and we have to breathe. And I wasn't doing that. Literally wasn't doing it. Let me get my book over there. I literally wasn't doing that. I had to breathe. Okay. I had to breathe. Sorry for everything. I had to breathe because I had a headache. I hurt my shoulder. Listen, I hurt my shoulder. All kinds of stuff had been happening to me. And so I'm going like, okay, Cindy, take a moment. Take a moment. My friend said, Cindy, take a moment. And so I listened to them. I like to listen to people. I like to take their advice. They said, take a moment. This is the right show. This one I heard. Take a moment and, you know, for yourself and breathe. Take 2 hours. And so I did just that. Let me find that poem for you guys. Hold on 1 second. Oh my gosh, I hurt my shoulder again. Um, okay. All right. I can find a poem. So listen, guys, I am really, really I really want to do one certain poem, but there's another one I'm looking for, and I don't want to keep you waiting. Um, okay, let me see. Okay, so I wrote this poem for my daughter, and her death was what inspired me to write poetry. Read my book actually. I had already been a poet for a long, long time. It was her death was really what inspired me to get into my poetry, and so I call her my daffodil, my flower, my daffodil. She was like a pretty little daffodil. And so she loved the color yellow. Um, yes, 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 darling, you're here. So I am going to read that poem for us, my flower, my daffodil. And it goes like this. Your arrival was like a bouquet of fresh daffodils. At birth, a mother's every desire it fulfills, like cool mist from the morning dew, reviving my life, setting me anew. The sun smiled at your birth, a perfect creation added to the earth. With you, our family became complete. Happiness you brought to our every heartbeat. As the times will change, life with its imbalanced circumstances rearrange. Lamenting as a vibrant flower faded, leaving us despaired and dismayed. Time lent a hand in helping us cope, my beautiful flower. To death will no longer bow or give power. Losing you, though hard to manage, remembering the lives you touch has given me much courage. As you sleep awaiting your call to life, my inner battles made peace with my strife. The elements once designed to weaken and destroy me strengthens me to share new hope with humanity. Evidence of truth that death will not prevail forever. Look, you stand in the fields, fully awakened, my daughter, not perplexed, but filled with happiness, as the word of my master has come to pass. Amongst those withered on earth's great garden, you were resurrected, fulfilling his promise to bring to life those once dead. As you stand in the distance among the flowers, my daffodil, with outstretched arms, I'll be there to welcome you still. Your love has extended a forest of faith to fight with endurance a competitive race. Many times I've stumbled to keep the pace. Those in the celestial heavens aided me back in place. My one-of-a-kind daffodil sparkles like the rainbow. Thoughts of you like stars sets my heart aglow. With twilights and twinkles, you spoke volumes with your eyes. Having you alive again will be a mother's treasured prize. So this I wrote for my daughter, my beautiful daffodil. Okay, I was getting a little teary-eyed there for my list. That's the poem for my little Izzy, my little Isabel, my daughter that passed away. Okay, so she was my beautiful daffodil. She loved really colors. So if you all see, I'm wearing beautiful colors. It's of the madras, and I have blue to commemorate also autism awareness. Okay, now before I get into autism awareness, let me show you some of the poems that I have. Some of my guests have written just a little piece of it, and I'm telling you guys, it is amazing to see the talent that our people have. So one of the poems I'm going to show you is by one of our people that was on the show, and it calls from Charles. It's entitled "The Night That I Was Born," and he's from Kenya. And I wish I could show that entire poem. Probably one day. I love that poem. It says, "The night on the day I'm born, dust crawls upon the earth. A night that my infancy cries, storm rose to erase my pain." That was a little bit of his poem, and he's an amazing poet. The other one is Unchained Soul from Goddess Pretty, one of the people that I had on the show. "You can't keep me trapped in this place of corruption. You can't stop my smile from reaching past the ocean." I thought that was really beautiful. And another one was from Sherilyn Harris, who wrote that for her son Nathaniel Harris. He said, "I like to," because the little boy loved to play outside. She said, "I like to be outside where the warm touch of the sun. I feel on my hand the dewdrops sparkle like diamonds as rays of sunlight touch each one." And this is from Jaden Harris, who wrote about his little place in Peru, which is where I'm from. "Come and take a little walk with me in a little corner of Sweet St. Lucie, which is the beautiful island of St. Lucia. Let's start at Opicon. It begins nice and flat till you reach the hilltop. We move to Peru. Its occupants so nice and mellow." So these are just a little bit of some of the things that, the poems that were written. And this one is by Alcest. All through the name of the poem, by all means. "All through the night, mommy bear cried, but still I want to go outside. Today, mommy looks at me all strange and says things are about to change. And that poem was about, during the time of COVID, where she a mom lost her husband, I think, to COVID. So that was what is really, really touching. Oh no, that's not what I wanted to put. Okay, so guys, listen, we have some amazing poets, and we have an amazing, amazing person. Richie, are you still there with me, honey? I would like you to come and give us a poem, okay? If you are still here with us, I'm putting you on the spot, okay? So, guys, what are we talking about? National Poetry Month, okay? National Poetry Month. What it is about? You know what? When did it come into play? So the National Poetry Lunch was established by the Academy of Poets in April 1996. Um, and the National Poetry Month is a special occasion because it celebrates poets' integral role in our culture, and that poetry shows that poetry matters. Now over the years it has become, sorry, I'm getting notifications. It has become the largest literary celebration in the world, with millions, tens of millions of readers, students, teachers, librarians, booksellers, literary events, families and poets, making their mark on. And some of these poems touch our lives deeply, you understand? And so we need to be able to give reverence to our poets, because a lot of the poems that are written is most of, I would say not all of, most of other poets are written from a place of originality, and a lot of people write poems from expressions from inside that they cannot tell anybody. So poetry is basically life. Poetry is telling somebody else's story. Poetry is talking about the things that they cannot explain to somebody, putting it in very complex ways, to make you feel what they're saying without saying it straightforward. So I poetry is amazing. And so we have so many amazing things happening with poetry everywhere. So this month, support poetry, support a poet, give them a shout out. Put something about a poet that a poem that There's so many things that we can do. And this month, I want to do some amazing things, not only this month, but also, coming months, to just highlight our poets. I don't think, like I said, poetry and perspective with Placid, I love to promote people. And so I think it's important that we do that, not just 1 month, but the entire year. Recognize poets from everywhere who are doing amazing work. People, our lives are changed and touched by poems, believe it or not. Poetry was the thing who helped me get over my not help me get over it, but help me cope with my depression, help me cope with my suicidal thoughts. Poetry, you understand? So it is important that we give reference to them. I'm gonna have some really great ones. And a great poet is also somebody who can also really write really good. So I think we need to give, not when people die we promote them, or we give them, how they say that, we honor them, but we honor people, our poets, entrepreneurs and everything, while they are living. Let them know, hey, you are doing a good job. I love your poems. Where can we get your poems? Encourage them. Even if there are millions of books in the world, but encourage a poet to put their work out there for the world to see. Encourage, because when one person knows about something, a lot of people know about it. Okay, so guys, this is what I have to say about National Poetry Month. Now, the other thing we're celebrating this month is also National Autism Awareness Month. Okay, yeah, it's telling me to drink water. I know. My app is telling me to drink water, guys. It's National Autism Awareness Month, and let me see if I can find my slide for you. I wanted to put that on the charts, but okay. It's National Autism Awareness Month, and there are millions and millions and millions of children who there are millions and millions of children who um who are dealing with autism. Millions of children, millions of them. And let me show you my autism love. Okay, I'm going to show you my autism love. Let me see if I can present my slide. My autism love. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get it going. Okay. Yes. So yes, National Autism Month is from April 1st to April 30th, okay? And it's National Autism Awareness Month. And this is my autism love, guys. Let me find him for you. This is my autism love. See? That is my autism love. 14 years ago, I gave birth to my son. And when I was told that he had autism, that was a blow for me because, first of all, I did not know what autism was. I did not know what autism was, and I was like dumbfounded. And I did cry, but then I snapped out of it. And I asked the psychologist, what can I do? What can we do to help my son with autism? I can tell you guys, this child has been, oh my arm hurts. This child has been the greatest joy. I love all my children, and the other one is no exception. But he has been such a great joy, one of the greatest joys in my life. You know, he has taught me so much. And before he didn't used to smile. Look at that smile on my son's face. Look at that smile on his face. And I have gotten a lot of I have gotten a lot of when this his autism was just diagnosed. I got a lot of people saying a lot of mean things to me when he was having his meltdowns, and I was learning stuff and I couldn't understand to myself. And I just learned to just educate myself about autism, educate myself about what it really means to be an autism parent. I educated myself about a lot of things. And let me give you a little insight on what autism really is, okay? So, according to the CDC, right? The CDC tells us that the autism spectrum disorder, or ASD, is a development disability caused by differences in the brain. People with autism spectrum disorder often have problems with social communication, interaction, restricted repetitive behaviors or interests, okay? And people also people with ASD may also have different ways of learning, moving, or paying attention. And I can tell you, my son doesn't only have um ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder. He also has ADD. So you could imagine that the work I had to put in as a parent, and there are times I really, it was really to a point where I cannot do this anymore. But every time I look at my son, I look into his eyes and I see him hanging on to me, hanging on to me for dear life, for everything. I had to be his voice, I had to be his ears, his eyes. I had to be able to be his protector. And I'm telling you guys, he taught me so much. And I'm proud to call him my son. And as much as I do not love autism and I don't like the fact, what his disability, my son is imperfectly perfect. He's imperfectly perfect, and I love him dearly. The days when I'm having the worst times, he will come and he just come into the room and just give mommy a hug. I have taught him so much. He has learned so much, and he is so, so, so intelligent. He's so smart. This boy can decode any phone, any password that I put on my phone. I have to be changing my password all the time, and sometimes you just have to see it once, or you don't have to see it at all. He figures it out, and I thank God for him, and I am so thankful for the joy that he has brought into my life. And for those parents out there who have children with disabilities and who are in denial, I will tell you, embrace your child. Embrace who that child is and what that child has, because you are doing that child a disservice by being in denial. I know it's not an easy pill to swallow, to have a child with a disability and where your life is completely changed and transformed, because people who are not in the situation will not understand. They will tell you, okay, if I were you, I would do it that way, or you should do it that way. But you are the person who knows your child best, and no one can tell you how to raise your child with a disability, even if that's another parent with a child with on the spectrum. Every single child on the autism spectrum disorder is different. The symptoms, everything, all of them are different in their own way. So the way that I'm going to be the things that my child is going to exhibit is not what another parent's child is going to exhibit. So they can give you guidelines. They can tell you, okay, this is what we found out about this, but they cannot tell you, okay, do this and don't do this, and this is wrong. And there's no wrong way. There is wrong way of abusing your child. There's a wrong way when you abuse your child, when you don't allow your child to grow. You understand? But we another parent or even professionals can give great advice and a pathway and a guideline to be able to cope with your child. I love my baby. I love him. He is a joy to me. Look at his cute little face. He is a joy to me. And believe it or not, guys, he is one of the reasons why I am alive today, and I will never stop telling that story. He is one of the reasons why I'm alive today. He loves to dress up. He make his bed. He will prepare his breakfast. He will make his eggs. He will mop for me. He will do so many things. I'm telling you, sometimes when we look at ourselves, say, oh my gosh, why me? Why not me? Why not be that voice for him? Why not be a strength for him? Why not be that mother that he needs? Ever since I found out his diagnosis, my life has not been about me. People ask me, Cindy, why don't you work? Why can't you go to, oh my gosh, my shoulders. Why can't you work? Why aren't you going out there and doing stuff that parents are doing it? But think about it like that. All of us have our challenges. All of us have our advantages and disadvantages. All of us have different things that are going on in our lives that allows us to do certain things and doesn't allow us to do certain things. Okay. I I can drive, but I'm not mobile. And I have to be that person when the school says Noah is having a bad day, and he have had a lot of those bad days, especially when he started going to puberty. I have to leave everything and run. Okay. When he can't sleep at night, or I have to be there. When he's sick, I have to be there. It doesn't matter what's happening in my world. I have to be there for that child. And so a lot of people don't understand. A lot of parents who have children with autism, it is difficult for them to keep a job. Unless there are two people in the household or they can afford somebody, it's difficult. And that's why a lot of parents work for themselves, because it is difficult, because we have to be, it's a 24-hour job to be an autism parent. It is a 24-hour. Some of the children have seizures. Some of them have, they're nonverbal. There's a lot that goes on when you have to potty train those kids, when you have to, it's a lot. It's a lot. But I wouldn't have, done it any other way. I wouldn't have. And I've listened to criticism. I've listened to backlash. I've listened to people criticize me and paint me as a bad mother. I've listened to people say a lot of things about me. And a lot of things, at times, they used to get me depressed. But I know, from where I was as a single parent to where I am now, I have done a darn good job. And I'm proud of myself, okay, for what I have done. And I don't care who thinks less of me. I have raised my son to be a decent young man. He's 14 now, and he's my ride or die, okay? All right. So this is enough about me and Noah, okay? I just wanted to share that light on my boy, okay? So autism spectrum disorder. Yes. So let's see some of the signs that we're looking for in autism spectrum disorder. We are looking for social and interaction skills. Social communication, interaction skills can be challenging, like I was saying, and they avoid eye contact. Some of them don't do eye contact at all. Some of them don't respond to their names, until the age of 9 months. Some of them don't have facial expressions, like they are happy or they're sad or they're surprised. Some don't play games. I remember Noah. When I threw a ball at Noah. The ball just went right past him and he just was there. You understand? But in that same light, Noah could have, at the age of 1.5 to 2, Noah could have spelled 20 words, just like that. You understand? He was spelling, and he also has a condition called hyperlexia. It's a higher than normal ability to understand letters and numbers rather than spoken words. So he's really great at math. Okay, he reads really well, but his comprehension is not where it's supposed to be. Although we have worked a lot with him, So there's are some of the things that parents go through. They don't play. They have very few gestures. They don't wave to say goodbye. He could not catch a ball. They don't share interests with others. They like to keep to themselves, and they like to play with different objects. Like my son, he used to have a set of cars, a line of cars going all the way around the house, and you can't touch it. And if one moves, he knows exactly which one moves. So it has been such a joy, such a learning experience. They don't point at stuff. I remember Noah wasn't pointing at stuff. They don't notice when others are hurt or upset, um, by 24 months of age. It's just like, they are just, things are just oblivious to them until you teach them. You start to teach them. And it takes a lot of physical therapy. I know my son did physical therapy. He did occupational therapy. He did speech occupational. He also did what's the other one that I must see? Speech occupational, I forget the other one, but he did like about 4 therapies. Speech occupational, and I forgot the other one, but he did like about 4 of them, and he also was seeing a psychologist. So it was every single week and every month. It was doctor's appointments, therapies, um psychologists, psychiatrists, a lot. And they don't notice other children and join them to play. Noah, for a long time, he would not play with other kids, and he has a photographic memory. A lot of them have a photographic memory. Noah was in love with pets, and guys, I'm telling you, Noah, I took him to the park because he loved the outdoors. He loved to play on the outdoors, and then he tried to pet a dog, and that was it. The dog lunged at him and tried to bite him, and thank God he had to pull his hand back really quickly. From that day on, no, I don't want to have nothing to do with the dog. He running away when he see dogs. So it stays with them. They do not pretend to be something else like a teacher, superhero, or play games. You understand? Noah is so blatantly honest. It's just like he would tell you, you cannot do anything. They will tell exactly what happened. Okay, so don't try to make them lie. They don't sing and dance, their age at up to 60 months of age. And I remember those days. I remember when I had to potty train Noah. Oh my gosh, it was a hassle until I had to let him. He was peeing in my bed all the time. I had to change my mattress second of that. And no, I could not afford the trend over. And I'm going like, okay. So what I started to do, I researched and I researched and I researched. I'm going like, this is not happening. So I would wake him up 3 times. I put him to bed at 8:30. I wake him up at 9 o'clock. I wake him up at 12 o'clock. And I wake him up. I woke him up at 3 o'clock to pee. And this boy was absolutely mad. Okay. Richie said, he looks like his mama. Oh, thank you. And where you think he get that class dressing from his mama? Oh, thank you, my love. Yeah, but it has been a very trying journey. And my journey has just begun because he's only 14. And with different stages, he's into puberty right now. He's way stronger than me right now. So he can, when they get upset, they are very, very strong. And even at the age of 10, it was difficult for me to. And it's a good thing I lift up weights. You all don't know that about me. I love lifting up weights, So it's a good thing that I love to work out. I like to keep myself, even though I have not been able to get the weight off as I wanted to, but I've been able to keep myself in shape to be able to handle him, because a lot of people don't know about me. I'm very, very strong. I'm very, very strong. I may not look it. I may look like a marshmallow, but I'm very, very, very strong physically. So I've been able to handle him when he's having his meltdowns and he's pulling on me and tugging on me. People don't know the challenges that we go through as parents. Some parents get hurt. Some parents get knives pulled on them. Some parents literally go to the hospital. Some parents have faced the most daunting things you can think of with autism kids. They have to change their TVs. They have to change their televisions, the things. I'm telling you, when no one is to be upset now. I have to hide everything, especially glass. I have to be able to, and I have to be firm with him. You are not going to break my stuff. So, guys, listen. Autism is dealing with an autistic child is not easy, and I would implore all of you all out here to think about those parents who are doing it every single day. Think about the hardship. A lot of the single parents, a lot of, sad to say, a lot of moms, a lot of autism parents are single parents because, and it's a lot of times it's the mom, because the dads don't stay around. They don't stay around. A lot of them are in denial. They do not want people to associate their child with autism. They feel that their child will not have autism. In my case, and I'm not bringing him down, but it was hard for him to accept that our son had autism. It was difficult. And so from 2 years of age until now, I've been raising my son by myself with the help of my oldest son and other people who are pitching. I've been raising my son by myself. And when I come up on here and I'm doing my show, believe me, my day when he goes to school, that's the only time I get to do anything, and I get to do my work. Good night, Spice John. That's the time I get to do my work. And even, when he gets home, although he's a much calmer now, but I have to do my work. I have to make sure he has his food. Make sure before I start the show, he has his dinner. Sometimes he go fix his dinner. He warms it up by himself. But if he needs something, he don't care what I'm doing. If I'm in the middle of the show or not, he's gonna come and ask me for what he wants. And I'm telling you guys, I need y'all to, if you know any parent who has a child, especially a single mom who has a child with autism, applaud them, call them, ask them how they're doing. A lot of moms are single because they tell you men don't want to take up a woman with a child with a disability. And I don't know if this is my plight, but I'm still single. As beautiful as I am, all of this goodness, I'm still single. Yeah, some men have come in my life, they've hurt me. They leave. But I wouldn't trade my life for anything. I wouldn't trade my son for anything. And if people are so shallow as to look at somebody else's child and judge them by that, then stay shallow. I'm not being very blunt. Stay shallow. Because these are one of the strongest women you will find. These are one of the most patient set of people that you will find. Autism parents. Parents raising a child with a disability. And if we can bear patience with our children, we can bear patience with anybody. So don't look down on us. Hi, Kennison. Do not look down on us because we are autism parents. People have told me that. You're not getting a man because they don't want to deal with a woman that has a child with a disability. Yeah, people have told me that. They have told me that. And it's painful because I know the quality of a woman that I am. I know so many parents have told me, if they were not married, they would have been single. So many parents, so many women have lost their husbands, have lost their partners because they are autism parents. And it's a sad, sad thing. It is really, really sad. Because everybody has different baggages. If you don't come with a child with a disability, you gotta come with a baggage yourself. You're gonna have your own baggage, personal baggage. Do we have to deal with your baggage? We have to deal with yours? No. I'm not being mean over here, but just it's sometimes I think, ouch. Sometimes I think about this and it gets me really not, I wouldn't say upset, but it agitates me to think that how the way the world thinks, you understand? So with that said, let me see if I can give you any little tidbit about autism anymore. So these autism children, they have repetitive behaviors, like I was saying, and the interests are so unusual, they they have problems with social interaction. So things like they will line up toys, like I said, Noah would line up toys, and they love routine. So they love their routine. You cannot break their routine. If you break their routine, that's gonna have a problem. I remember I always told Noah, okay, 8 o'clock you gotta get up, get dressed. By 8:10 you gotta you be brushed, your teeth be brushed. By 8:15 you gotta take your medicine, and by 8:20, and then the bus schedule changed, and he was just going about his own routine, and then he would miss the bus, and he would get upset because that routine has been changed. They don't like change. They don't like it. And if he lining up his cars, and if he's lining up his cars, you touch one of his cars, oh, it's gonna be problems. They like to repeat words, or phrases over and over again, and it is called echolalia. So sometimes I may hear him blurt out something, and it's not something that it was taught. It's just that he hear words and then he repeats it, like on things on the TV. One of the things he like to say now, he learned, is like, come on, come on. He likes to say, come on, So he plays with toys the same way. He loves Lego blocks, And over the years, I have not been able to provide what the most of the basic things, most of the things that my child needed. But I did my best. You understand? So he liked Lego blocks. I would do that. He would put together puzzle pieces so fast, so quick, and so much in a hurry. Why did it take me a week to do? You take him one day to do. They focus on particular parts of the toys, like the wheels. They get upset with minor changes. They have obsessive interests. For example, I know Noah was obsessed with the bus, and he's still obsessed with the bus, and then as he grows older, the obsession is growing longer. So he's obsessed with buses, the transit buses. And it's like something you'll find the children doing this. They're flapping their hands, or they spin they rock their body like this, or they spin in circles. And over the years, I've taught Noah how to do that. And he doesn't like to touch sponges. Like they have that they have unusual reactions to certain textures. Noah likes fried chicken, but guess what? If it is not done a certain way, he will not eat it. So there are so many other things. And then the children, most of them are delayed in their language skills, in the movement skills, in the cognitive, thinking and their learning skills. Some of them are hyperactive, they're impulsive, they're inattentive behavior. They have some of them have epilepsy, like I said. A lot of them has gastrointestinal issues. They have constipation issues. They have mood and emotional anxiety, stress. They go for stress too. And the lack of fear. You don't expect, no one is fearful of nothing, nothing, except he don't want the dog to touch him because he knows the dog is going to bite. But thunder and lightning, he would go outside. I remember when my daughter died, he was expecting his baby sister. And when my daughter died, my son was so distraught. And I couldn't understand what was happening to him. I took him to the psychologist, and she told me he is grieving in his own way. So these children have feelings like us. They have feelings like us. It's just that they cannot verbalize themselves. And the fact that they cannot verbalize what they're feeling, what they are going through, it is hard for them. It makes them angry. It makes them, agitates them, but they are the most loving kids that you can find around. Most loving. And when they love you, they love you. You are the cream of the pie. Okay? They love you. So guys, this is my tidbit on I started to get a little emotional, but I wouldn't. This is my tidbit on autism and the signs and characteristics of autism. There's so much information that can be. If you want to know more about autism, you can go on you can go to the CDC. They'll give you some information. Marcus Autism Center in Atlanta. There are some great information. There's so many autism sites and groups where you can find so much information about children with autism. And also they also are recognizing that children with as Asperger's also fall under the spectrum of autism as well. So it's kind of like it's a lot for parents, you know. So I need a glass of wine here after after you give that speech. I need a glass of wine. I just thought it was important that I highlight these things because a lot of people don't understand how difficult it is. A lot of people have their own stigma about autism. A lot of parents, and I've heard a lot of people in the islands, in the Caribbean islands, in St. Lucia, they are not accepting of their children with autism. My shoulder is hurting me every time I move it. They are not accepting of the children with autism. I will tell you boldly, this is the worst thing that you can do for your child. You are hindering your child's greatness. You are hindering your child's abilities. You are hindering your child to grow into a very prominent person in society, a smart individual who's going to contribute to humanity. These children are smart beyond what you all can think of. They are smart. Don't hinder your child. Don't hold back your child. Embrace that child with autism and do the best that you can for them. Do the best that you can for them. And you could see the joy that you're going to receive. We didn't cause this. We are born from sin and imperfection. We are born from the sins of Adam and Eve, what they left for us with the sins that they committed. You understand? And we are born into sin and imperfection. So all of us are broken in some way. So when your child is born with a disability, do not look down on your child. You understand? People say it's genes and all kind of stuff. I don't believe it's genes. I don't believe it's genes. That's my personal take on it because I don't have autism. But everybody has a is broken somewhere. Has a loose screw somewhere. I don't have my loose screw. You know? I don't have my loose screw somewhere. But everybody needs to accept when your child is given the diagnosis. Instead of being in denial, I would encourage you to start thinking of ways to help your child. And they grow into amazing adults and they live with that autism. So the earlier you can intervene, they can get that intervention, the better for them. Now I have given you a lot of information, but this month, the entire month, there's still more to come. Okay, so where is my paper? Yeah, so this entire month there's also more information. You're going to hear from parents who are raising children with disabilities from different parts of the world. You about from autism parents. You will hear the insights. You will hear how they cope. There's so many things. St. Lucians, I'm calling on you guys. Cindy Placid from Poetry and Perspective with Placid. Some of you all know me as Benoit. Yes, that's how you all know me. I am calling on parents with children with disabilities, with autism, to take especially in St. Lucia from my country, take a deeper look into you as a parent and start looking for help for your child instead of putting that child down and being in denial. I know, and I'm going to tell you as a parent, it is a tough, tough pill to swallow. But don't give up on your children. Don't give up because the child has a disability, whether it be Asperger's, physical disabilities, whatever disabilities, they are here. Their life is not ours to take. They are here, and God allows things for a reason. It may not seem like that, but He allows things. This is a life that God entrusted in your hands. So no matter what that child has, that is still your child. That is still your gift. If you look past the disability, you're going to find the most treasured gift that the child could give you. And that's what I did. I looked past my child's disability. I looked past the fact that I could not provide the things that I needed for him, like every other parent of a child with a disability in America could. And what I could have done for him, I did. And today I can say, like Reggie said, I am proud of myself for where I've come from to where I am now with him. I think I'm getting a cold, guys. Listen, these are some of the books that I have been reading. And if you want help, 10 Things Every Child Wishes You Knew, okay, by Ellen Northam. I can't say the name right, but this is a really good book. Where is it? I can show it to you right now. This is it right here. I don't have it on screen, but this is the book right here. The other one, I don't have it close to me. And these are the things, the ways that I stay educated about my son. I stay in the loop, read about it. See if your son or your daughter has any of those symptoms. Early intervention, guys, early intervention is key to helping your child grow to be as normal as possible. And don't treat your child as a disability. Treat your child and raise your child like a normal child. Don't treat them like they have any disability. All right. So these are some of the books again. I think I'm getting a cold. That's no good. Yeah, there are some of the books. Or the second one, did I say the second one is life skills for teens with autism. So this is another book that I just got, and I think this is it has been very helpful to me. And I would encourage children if parents or children who are going into puberty, who are teens living with autism. This is a great book, Life Skills for Teens with Disabilities. Okay, now I just wanted to say that this month, this starting next week, we are going to have an additional show. Now I know on Fridays I already have shows on Thursday and on Fridays, but I want to cater for the people that are in Europe. I have a lot of friends, a lot of family living in Europe who wants the time that I'm doing this show is very tough for them to stay up. So I'm going to be having a show on Fridays at 5 p.m. Okay, Eastern Standard Time, which will be about 5, let me see, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 p.m. I think it's Greenwich Mean Time in Europe, okay? Some parts of Europe. So I want to cater for you guys. I know there are a lot of people that I'm wishing to bring from Ghana and everywhere, and the time is just too late for them. So I'm announcing that as of next week, we are going to have shows for people who live in England, okay, and these other places in that, in the European time zone. Also, we are going to have a segment which I have not told any of my friends. I think they're gonna be surprised. We are going to have a segment about, I've always had females on my show, so I'm going to do at least every 2 weeks to get male perspectives on things, on their lives, on their relationships, how they cope, what is affecting them. I don't have a name for it yet. Today, the first Thursday of every month is supposed to be issues that matter, whether it be for guests or by myself, which I'm going to commit to that. On every 2 weeks, we are going to have on Fridays we are going to have the shows for in English for at 5 p.m. earlier, sorry. And also, it's not in addition, but it is just adding to the roster. I'm going to have, along with my colleagues, we're going to have a show which is going to be talking about men's issues. Okay? Men. A lot of men are going through some very difficult things in their lives and they don't talk about it. Men face abuse like women do. Men face rape, believe it or not, like women do. Men have a lot of marital issues that have been treated really badly in relationships like women do. And so I believe it is important that I target both sexes. I am a people person, although I'm female, I see life through different lens. I like to listen to different takes and hear both sides of the story. And it is important that we give our men a voice as well as the women. Okay. So maybe we can have the two sexes talk about it. Who knows? But we're going to have that show, starting probably next week. Okay. So, guys, tune in. I will give it a name and I'll let you know this week who will be my first guest on the show. And I'm telling you, it is going to be hot. It's going to be hot because we are going to get the audience participation. We're going to answer questions in real time. And, it's going to be fun. All right. So this is what I have for you guys today. Listen, I'm going to read one more poem. Before I go on, I also wanted to say that there are also books. This is an audio book on the right here, connecting with autism spectrum, how to talk, how to listen, and why you shouldn't call it high functioning. I don't know what that is, but I haven't bought this one. But I'm interested in this on adults with autism spectrum disorder. There are a lot of adults living on the spectrum, and people don't understand and they don't know. So there are a lot of adults, and it is so I'm going to be targeting all of these issues as an advocate for autism, as an advocate for mental illness, an advocate for dwarfism, which I'm going to bring more guests as well. I need to target those issues for people in for my country, but people from all over the world. Because believe it or not, guys, greetings, Facebook user. There are a lot of people. Please write your name in the chat, because when you on my page, on my group page, I cannot see your name. So it is important that we target those things. There is no shame in being an autism parent, male or female. There is no shame. Embrace your child. Love on that child like you eating a nice Julie mango. And people in St. Lucia who know about the Julie mango, you all know what I'm talking about, okay? Embrace your child like you eating a nice Julie mango. Yes. Like you hold the love of your life. Like you're embracing your man in bed. Me, I don't have no money, so because I don't know how to embrace. Okay, these days I forget. But embrace your child like you're embracing your man in bed. Embrace your child like you are. That's the most treasure that you have. Okay, because they are treasures. Okay, so with that said, let me read another poem, and I am going to end this show. But before I read the poem, I have a few. Before I end the show, I have a few announcements. I have a few announcements. My nose is stuffed. My nose is stuffed. I know something. Oh my god. Yes. So the topic tonight was National Poetry Month and autism awareness. Okay, so this was what I was talking about, and I was making an announcement as to what we are going to have. So for those and I love this poem, and I'm going to read this poem because we're going to have a topic about this very soon. Is the issue of body shaming, and a lot of people are taking their lives because of body shaming. Although we live in the, how many centuries are we in, the 21st century? Yeah, we live in a century. We're late in the century. I don't remember. I don't keep track of all of these things, but people are still body shaming other people. And like I said, male and female. People make fun of people, you understand, with their weight. That has been a problem for me. Ever since I put on a little weight, people have made fun of me. They don't get close to me because they think, listen, I'm going to tell you something. Cindy put on the weight, more to love. I haven't lost my luster. I haven't lost any essence of who I am as a woman. I've only gotten better. Okay? In being who I am, being a beautiful person inside. Okay, so weight doesn't have to do with what a person is inside. Okay, and I've gotten a lot of people who have downed me, who have told me, "Oh, you so big." And hey, a lot of people are going through weight issues because a lot of hormone imbalances, a lot of things. So one of the reasons to why I wrote this poem is because of weight issues, and I am going to target that. This year I'm going to target a lot of things on my show. I'm not doing these things to hurt people. I'm just bringing to light some of the issues that are really affecting people and leading them to mental illness, leading them to suicide. Okay, so these are some of the issues that I'm going to be talking. And let me tell you, these things, it doesn't matter what religion you are. It doesn't matter what social stature you are. It doesn't matter. People look down on these things. And I don't like a shallow person. You have to be able to see beyond that, beyond somebody's skin. See the beautiful person that a person is inside, and don't judge him from what you see on the outside, okay? If they are bad, you tell they're bad. But look on the outside, look at the person's personality, the way they treat people. Okay, so enough said. The name of my poem is called Beyond the Visual, and I think I read this poem before, so I'm going to read it again. Okay, it's called Beyond the Visual. Society demands an hourglass image. The self-esteem of many it has damaged. with unrealistic standards compared to carnage. Sense of sight does not see beyond the visual, because in blissful arrogance, the majority remain partial. What is seen in the physical does not personify any individual. In your confusion, acceptance is not practical. Lest the eyes be open to what is real, you won't understand how unkind words make us feel. No amount of flesh on the body can compensate for the wealth in quality. That's sorry, no, let me start back again. I was biting my tongue. No amount of flesh on the body can compensate for the wealth of quality that is wedged in the core of the heart's treasury. Deceptive are the unrealistic visions you have formatted, refusing to acknowledge this work of art. You cast your eyes with disdain. From the pleasure of my company, you refrain. A little acquired tummy seems to be a sin, but life has a way of adding its own spin. For an arrogant judgment will lose you a valuable queen, and I could say king too. Okay. Social norms seems to take delight in body shaming, launching remarks that are so demeaning, with no remorse for those who they are hurting, visibly disguised in a posture of bullying, as there are no consequences, just baseless reasoning. It's either you're too skinny or too thin, or you're too big or full for their liking. Many are the stares on unwanted words that cuts deep like stabbings of swords, yet promoted on the world's billboards. A person's outer skin layer does not identify the inner treasure. In darkness to the meaning of beauty, many who have sight yet cannot see might have been in the three blind mice story. Prevalent inequality and discrimination we can't ignore. Unable to cope with the world's depressive misnomer, our future generations continue to take their lives in horror. To stereotypes and prejudice, I appeal. Seize the hate, save from these tragic ordeals. And the title of this poem is Beyond the Visual. Guys, I write from experiences. I write from what I witness people. Good night, John T. How are you? I write from what I witness people go through. I write from what I hear people's other people's experiences. I write from a lot of situations, you know. And I don't write to down people. I write because I believe that my words have meaning, and I write differently from other people. Everybody have a style of writing. I write differently from other people. I accept that. I know that, and all of us gonna be the same. But I write from issues that I write because of issues that have seen, issues that we are having, and so forth. So that is it. Now, I wanted to show this. I myself in collaboration with Natural Vibes Essential and Mr. John T. Regis. Okay, now if you all don't know who Natural Vibes is, I'm going to tell you. He was on the show for for my Match Madness giveaway. He is my cousin. Okay, he is a very well known entertainer, reggae artist slash all kinds of he songs all kind of things. Okay, but his main thing is reggae. Okay, and he has topped the billboard many times, and a lot of St. Lucians don't know about him. Okay, very very amazing entertainer and singer, and I've collaborated with him. You can go check out Natural Vibes Essential, and also with Mr. John T. Regis, okay, who has won 5 road matches, including Ula Lela Lela. Is that it? Okay. Another song. I'm sorry, John T. I'm butchering your song. So we have collaborated and come together with another artist called General Nia, who sing "Do It Mia Go Dead," and we've come together to raise funds for the St. Lucia School of the Blind. Okay, now this event is happening May 13th in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, let me make sure that I give you the correct information here before I send people the wrong place. First of all, it is happening in Atlanta. Oh my gosh, my nose is so stuffy, guys. It's not even funny. So it is happening on the May 13th, 2023 in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Okay, so we're gonna have tickets on sale on Eventbrite. All right, I posted on my page. 40 dollars for the ticket, 45 at the door, and I'm gonna be performing along with John T and this amazing handsome man. Okay, and it's gonna be proceeds are gonna go to out all to raise funds for the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association, and these are some of the things I love doing, helping people. And so we came together and then we put up this show. So we'd like everybody to share. When we share this, we would like everybody to share the live, share the posters, and share the flyer. Encourage people to buy the tickets, even if you can't make it. Do at least buy the ticket because all the donations are going to go towards to the Blind Welfare Association in St. Lucia. There's so many places who need help, and we as St. Lucians will do what we can to help. You know, different places. So we coming together to do that. This is our first event. So I would like to you guys to support us, share and promote, like and share. And I would like you to like and share this video as well. All of my videos. I don't see all of you share. A lot of you don't share my videos. A lot of you come up here and you all don't share. Share. Okay, like, share my videos because this is a very I'm so stuffy. There's some very important information that I share on my live. So back to my thing. Promote this. Buy your tickets. We also gonna have tickets selling at the door, like I said, $45. The place is at Le Gourmet Restaurant in Grayson, Georgia. It's owned by a St. Lucian. Okay, so come support us. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have some amazing songs, amazing performances. So we may even have some guests, guest artists. We didn't advertise on the show. So, but you know what? Support us, support the school, and let's see how this goes for our first event. So Janti, Natural Vibes, and everybody's watching the show. I need you all to promote this. Okay, promote this on every platform that you can, so we can get make that money for the St. Lucia Blind Welfare Association. With that said, I'm going to tell you guys, a lot of people are suffering with mental illness. A lot of people are suffering with mental illness. They're suffering with so many things that are destroying lives, destroying families. Okay, and I want to let you all know this. With my own struggles with mental illness, I am going to be doing so much to help people get out of this because I'm in a better place right now. The Cindy that you see now is not the Cindy that was a couple of years ago, maybe even 2 years ago. You understand? That's a different person. If you had seen me last year, 2 years ago, you wouldn't have liked my oh, my nose is so stuffy. You wouldn't have loved the person that you see right now. Although I'm jovial, but I was lost. I was broken. And because of mental illness. And so I encourage you all, if you know anybody who's suffering with mental illness, to reach out to them. Reach out to them. Ask them how's their day going. Is there anything that you can do to help them? Even if you just have to sit and listen to them for about 30 minutes, about 20 minutes. Let them know that you care. Because sometimes we don't listen. We are quick to talk and we don't listen. And sometimes when we talk too much, sometimes when we walk out that door, that's the last time that person is alive. Because people are suicidal. People are going through stuff. The economy is bad. People have lost their jobs. People are losing their families and they can't cope. So reach out to somebody. Let them know that you care. Let them know. Refer them to somewhere that they can get help. Okay? I am trying to find who's in charge of, mental illness in St. Lucia so that I could have that discussion with them. I am going to like me, and I don't care who don't like what I'm doing, and I don't care who talks about me and say they're not gonna do this. We have to break that stigma in St. Lucia. A lot of people are committing suicide. We have to break that stigma. A lot of people are going through mental illness. You see people walking on the street, they're losing their heads. Mental illness is real, guys. It doesn't matter whether you're from the Caribbean, whether you're from Asia, whether you live in Antarctica, what no matter where we are in the world, we are not immune to any kind of sickness. We're not immune to death. We're not immune to any of those things. So please, I would urge you to reach out to somebody with mental illness. And if you're in America, okay, the number for this is the number for this, let me see if I can find this. Call this number 988. It's a suicide hotline. It's a mental health. They changed it. I'm going to have to change this. It's a mental health hotline, mental health and suicide hotline. Reach out to somebody. It's okay. As personally for yourself, it's okay not to be okay with it. It's okay to say I'm having a bad day. It's okay to call somebody and cry. Okay. Yesterday I called two of my friends. I call them sisters. And I was in tears yesterday because I was having a serious breakdown yesterday because so many things are overwhelming you. This life is really full of challenges. Reach out to someone. Let them know that I'm thinking about you today. Okay. Can I buy you anything? Can I get you some water? Can I get you a drink? Can we just go for a walk in the park? All these things help. Okay. So guys, and listen, thank you so much for watching Poetry and Perspective with Placid. I had an amazing night sitting here by myself. Like I said, I keep continue saying, continue sharing my lives, continue reaching. I want to reach more people than I am reaching now. Okay, and I always say there are no tapas. This is my slogan. There are no tapas. But also one of my slogans for this show, and I'm gonna start putting it. Let your voice be heard. Do not stay silent to what is bothering you. Do not stay silent. It's not everybody you can go and put. You need to take a horn and tell everybody your secret issues, your secrets. But you can't tell somebody when you're not doing okay. No, let your voice be heard. No tap out. Do not give in to the demons that are trying to destroy your life. Do not give in to mental illness. Do not give in to, my gosh, I couldn't even breathe. I'm sorry. Do not give in to mental illness. Do not give in to um the things that are destroying you. Speak up. Let your voice be heard. If you've been raped, let your voice be heard. If you've been abused as a man or woman, let your voice be heard. You understand? Don't let things kill you. This life is precious and we have too much to live for. Listen, guys, like I said, for the entrepreneurs, you may fail many times before you can succeed, guys. But never, ever let that failure be your finality. Rise to your own prosperity. Rise. And as many times as you will fall, get back up. Get back up. There is power. There's great things in the skies. Great things. Look up, get up. This is Cindy Placid, the beautiful and kind hostess. I love you all. Come back again next week for a riveting show. We're going to have an amazing show for you guys. Look out for my flyers. Look out for the promotion flyers. My arm is hurting me, but I'm here and it's going to hurt some more because I stretched. Okay. I love you all. Have an amazing, amazing night and rise to your prosperity. Good night.